40 million. That is the number of election-related tweets sent on Election Day 2016. Then came 2018, which, according to Twitter, was the most tweeted midterm election in history. One of those tweets included this video of voters waiting in line in Snellville, Georgia, 1 hour after the polls opened. According to the user, this happened because there weren't enough power cords for the voting machines. After that tweet was posted, NBC verified the information and responded that the holdup was indeed due to a lack of power cords. The machines were running on battery power and they ran out of a charge. A verified political strategist asked the user for the address of the poll site so she could report it to the NAACP. And by nightfall, polling hours were extended. And how did voters waiting in Georgia's long lines find this out? The NAACP tweeted the breaking news that they had won their case arguing for extended voting hours. Breaking, voting times will be extended by 3 hours in 2 precincts. Polls will now close at 10 p.m. per court orders. For many Americans, Twitter has been the place to look on Election Day to keep up with what's happening in their state and across the country. It has been an essential tool for messaging and organizing. Through elections and pandemics and social movements, Twitter has been the virtual town square where we exchange information and ideas about some of our biggest challenges, which makes the massive changes that Twitter's new overlord Elon Musk has implemented just days before Election Day. It's what makes them so insidious. Reportedly, starting Monday, Musk will require the 400,000 verified users on the platform to pay $8 a month to keep their blue verified checkmarks. But he's allowing all users to pay for a checkmark, too, with no plans to verify that the paying customers are who they say they are. Now, the point of the checkmark system, launched in 2009, was to address misinformation, to prevent fake accounts from impersonating real people and organizations. Now the point appears to be to increase revenue for Elon Musk's new company. At least one Twitter employee working on the new blue checkmark subscription product got locked out of the company's systems last night during a meeting. And that is how that person found out they were fired. They were one of nearly 3,800 people fired in the past 24 hours as part of another one of Musk's big changes to the platforms, mass layoffs affecting half of Twitter's workforce. Here's a look at who Musk has decided to get rid of. The curation team is now gone. They helped guide users to reliable news sources instead of conspiracy theories. About half the company's security team is now gone, raising concerns about users' privacy. The human rights team, also gone. They worked on protecting human rights advocates, journalists, and citizens in places like Ukraine and Afghanistan and Ethiopia. The ethical artificial intelligence team is also gone. They were doing research on algorithmic bias, like unintentional political bias on the Twitter platform. All this happening after Musk shut employees out of the content moderation systems that are required to limit misinformation. That's something he did last week. Musk only agreed to renew access this week after civil rights leaders complained about the possible spike in misinformation and hate speech. All of this is the field of play in the virtual town square, days before one of the most consequential elections of our lifetime. Joining us now is Ben Collins, a senior reporter covering disinformation, extremism, and the internet for NBC News. Ben, thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
So, the timing on all of this. Now, granted, Musk just purchased the company, right?
Yep.
But he's aware that there's a midterm election happening, and that puts all of this in the crosshairs of so many complicating factors. Do you think it's on purpose? It's in spite of that? How do you read these drastic decisions ahead of just a really potentially fraught period in American politics?
It's hard to know, but the ethical thing to do here would be for him to just wait until midterms, right? And that is not what he did. He fired people 4 days before midterms, basically half the company 4 days before midterms. And in the process of doing that, he got rid of the health team, the curation team, anybody who would be able to, suss out lies from facts on a platform that is about to be inundated with people impersonating other people.
Right.
Those people are gone.
And at a time when we have real world elections deniers running for office, trying to effectively affect the vote, policing polling stations. I mean, the opportunities for misinformation
Yes.
to spread are are so abundant it's hard to even enumerate all of them. What practically happens? The curation team is gone. So
Yes.
how are we going to start to see the effects of that as Twitter users, as the audience here?
Sure. I think there is a different user experience for Elon Musk, who's the richest man in the world, than somebody waiting in line at a polling booth, right? Elon Musk doesn't have to wait in line for anything, but in this case, people waiting in line at these polling booths would, in fact, like you said, go to, a local election official's website, maybe a county commissioner's website or something like that, Twitter, that would tell you where to go and what to do. Elon says he's going to take down public officials, public figures who have been impersonated, celebrities, things like that. But how do you know that, if I say I'm Ben Collins and I run the Pennsylvania, State Board of Commissioners or something on Tuesday, what team is responsible for taking down that account?
Right.
With a brand new verified badge that puts you in the same spot as journalists. Elon Musk uses Twitter for status and to hype up his own status, things like that. And he views the website as a status machine, and he thinks he views other people in the same way. Most people do not use the website that way. Most people use it in a utilitarian way to find out if there's an earthquake.
Yes.
Or to find out if something is happening down the street.
The polling place hours have been extended.
Yes, exactly. Or like if you type in loud bang when you hear a loud bang in your neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
That's not how he uses this. He uses this as a political vehicle to get what he wants. That is putting our voting rights in danger by Tuesday in a very dramatic way. It could be really bad. I'm trying not to sound the alarm and sound hysterical here. But if everybody has a verification badge on Tuesday, nobody has a verification badge on Tuesday.
Right. So
there is no official account for anything.
It renders it all meaningless.
And we're all going to find this out the hard way. This is just going to be something that we learn over time, hopefully not dramatically on Tuesday.
I mean, the civil rights leaders have been approaching Musk. They clearly are having some amount of influence here.
Yes.
Do you sense that there is more of that pushback to come? Do you sense that that is an effective way of pressuring Musk to keep in place some of these safeguards? I mean, there aren't actually the physical bodies in the office to execute on some of this security and anti-misinformation monitoring. So what's the best case scenario for what can happen here in terms of public pressure on Musk and the staff that he has left in the office?
Well, so far he has doubled down on the conspiracy theorizing that there is some sort of liberal elite that is trying to, make it so Twitter does not have advertisers anymore. There's a big cabal of people.
They're unhappy
with the changes he's made. And he's doubled down on that all night long so far tonight. I think he will continue to do that. Look, at the end of the day, this guy made a mistake. This guy bought a website he couldn't really afford. And he is leveraged against several banks. And he tried to back out of it for months and months and months.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do it. And now he is saddled with this website. And maybe the best use of it for him is political revenge.
Wow. Well, it certainly looks like that's what it's shaping up to be. It's definitely giving a platform to people who have been marginalized for spreading misinformation and hate. And we are seeing the full flowering of that dark side of American society on social media. Let us all buckle up before November 8th. Ben, it's always good to see you. Thanks for your reporting on all of this.